What if I told you that your obsession with social media is not just draining your time, it's draining your soul? And Marcus Aurelius saw it coming 1800 years ago. Imagine this. You're lying in bed, phone in hand, scrolling. Again. You don't know why. You just are. Your thumb moves, but your mind, it's numb. And the worst part? You're not alone. You're exactly who the algorithm wants you to be. Predictable, addicted, distracted. Now, picture this. Marcus Aurelius, Stoic emperor of Rome, philosopher of discipline, watches you from across time. What would he say? Would he be shocked? Or would he simply nod? Because he saw this pattern of weakness long before Wi-Fi ever existed. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But strength isn't what social media wants from you. It wants your attention, your comparison, your control gone. In this video, we'll uncover why Marcus Aurelius might just be your unexpected guide to breaking free from the dopamine trap of Instagram, TikTok, and beyond. And if you're still here, scrolling with your thumb but feeling empty, this is your moment, because Stoic strategy and psychological mastery can help you reclaim your mind, starting today. Don't blink. This might just be the scroll that changes your life. Let's be honest. You've probably heard it all before. Take a break from social media. Turn off notifications. Just be present. But if it were that easy, you wouldn't still be scrolling, would you? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Social media isn't just a distraction. It's a machine, a psychological weapon. And you're its target. The real shock isn't how addictive these platforms are. It's how they rewire your identity, your priorities, even your self-worth. And it's happening quietly, every time you reach for your phone without thinking. Ever closed the app and felt worse than before? Yeah, that's no accident. Now ask yourself, why do you care so much about likes from people you don't even respect? Why do you feel empty after an hour of scrolling? And why do you keep doing it anyway? Marcus Aurelius didn't live in a world of screens, but he lived in a world of noise, flattery, gossip, spectacle. And he rejected it all. He wrote for no one but himself. His words were never meant to go viral. They were meant to keep his soul intact while running an empire. That's why this matters, because his strategy works even better today. In this video, we're going to decode his timeless wisdom, then weaponize it for your world. You'll discover why Stoicism isn't just some ancient philosophy, but a razor-sharp mindset built for modern chaos. We'll break down how social media hijacks your brain with psychological precision and how you can use Stoic principles to fight back. You'll walk away with 5 real tools, not quotes, not theory, actual practical tools to reclaim your mind, your time, and your power. So if you're tired of being controlled, if you're done being manipulated, and you're ready to live on your own terms, then keep watching. This is where the scroll ends, and your strategy begins. To understand how to escape the grip of social media, we first need to understand something deeper. Not the app, not the algorithm, but the architecture of your mind. Marcus Aurelius wasn't writing to impress. He was writing to survive, not from swords, but from distraction, from pride, from the chaos of being emperor of Rome. His journal, what we now call meditations, was his anchor in a world designed to pull him apart. Sound familiar? We live in a different empire, digital, addictive, but the chaos, the comparison, the craving for validation, exactly the same. So what does Marcus teach us? At the core of his philosophy lies Stoicism, and Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It's about emotional discipline. It's not about detachment from life. It's about deep engagement with what matters. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That's not just a quote. That's a declaration of war on every notification trying to hijack your attention. Let's break that down. When Marcus says outside events, he's pointing to the chaos beyond our control. Today, that chaos lives in your pocket. TikTok trends, outrage cycles, comment sections. And every time you react without reflection, you surrender power. But Marcus wasn't naive. He didn't pretend the world would get easier. He trained his mind to stay strong within it. He practiced inner citadel thinking. The inner citadel is a Stoic metaphor. Imagine your mind as a fortress. Outside, the storms rage. Inside, you remain still, intentional, disciplined. But here's the twist. Your phone is a Trojan horse. You brought the enemy into the fortress. Every app is designed to trigger a response. You don't scroll. You're being scrolled. You don't choose. You're being chosen. So Marcus would tell you, fortify the citadel. Reclaim command. He writes, do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors. Translation, stop watching strangers live fake lives while you forget your real one. That single line destroys the core appeal of social media, comparison. It pulls back the curtain on our obsession with others, what they wear, what they eat, how happy they seem. And Stoicism cuts through it. But Marcus didn't live in a cave. He ruled. He engaged. He just refused to be ruled by anything other than reason and virtue. That's the real power. Because Stoicism isn't passive. It's the most active philosophy there is. It's a mindset for war. But not war with others. War with the parts of yourself that seek approval, comfort, and distraction. Nietzsche would later call this the will to power, but Marcus understood it centuries earlier. He trained himself to say no, not to pleasure, but to anything that made him a slave.
Let's get real. You're not a Roman emperor, but your attention is a battlefield. And every time you open your phone without intention, you lose a little more territory. Now picture this. You're Marcus. You open your modern scroll, Instagram, the feed floods your mind. Bodies, cars, success, rage. Would he panic? No. Would he get hooked? No. He'd pause. He'd reflect. He'd remember very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. And then he'd put the phone down and write, or meditate, or lead, or love. That's Stoicism. Not avoidance, not asceticism, alignment. He aligned action with values. And that's what makes him dangerous to the algorithm. Because once you reclaim your values, likes mean nothing. Now let's flip this to you. Ask yourself, what do you actually value? Time? Clarity? Growth? Then why give your attention to something that devours all three? Why trade your best hours for noise that only wants you to scroll? Marcus Aurelius had no internet, but he faced something more insidious, the inner temptation to waste his mind. And he fought it every day. That's why his words still cut like blades, because they were forged in the fire of real struggle. He was betrayed, he lost children, he led through plague. Yet he never lost himself, and neither should you. This is the core of the Stoic code. You are not your impulses. You are not your environment. You are not your screen. You are what you choose to attend to. Attention is your currency, your weapon, your identity. And you're trading it for what? A heart emoji? A fake dopamine spike? Marcus would shake his head, but he wouldn't judge. He'd invite you to something better. He'd say, take control of your thoughts, for as you think, so shall you become. That's the code. And it's not written in Latin. It's written in behavior. So here's the challenge. Live like your attention is sacred, like your time is your kingdom, like your mind is a fortress. Because in the age of endless noise, your silence is strength. In the age of instant gratification, your restraint is rebellion. In the age of manipulation, your philosophy is protection. And in the age of distraction, Stoicism is your shield. This isn't nostalgia for a lost empire. It's a call to arms for the digital one we live in. You don't need to be a philosopher. You need to be awake. Because Marcus didn't write Meditations to impress scholars. He wrote it to survive being emperor of the most powerful empire on earth without losing himself. You're not here for a history lesson. You're here for strategy. So let's take this wisdom and turn it into power. Coming up next, the psychology behind your digital addiction, why you scroll, why you can't stop, and what to do about it. Stay with me. You're about to break the loop.
Let's get brutally clear. Social media isn't just stealing your attention, it's rewiring your brain. And unless you understand the mechanics behind that, no quote, no book, no philosophy will save you. So let's decode the system. First, the neuroscience. Every time you get a like, a view, or a comment, your brain releases dopamine. It's the same chemical response triggered by cocaine. That's not an exaggeration, that's biology. Dopamine isn't evil, it's part of what drives you. But platforms manipulate it like puppeteers pulling strings. They create intermittent rewards. Not every post goes viral. Not every message gets a reply. That unpredictability keeps you hooked. It's the same principle that makes slot machines so addictive. You never know when the jackpot's coming, so you keep pulling. Now add social pressure. Your peers are online. Your status lives in metrics. Your self-worth becomes attached to numbers. This is where the Stoics would scream, danger. Marcus Aurelius warned, be indifferent to what makes no difference. But when your brain is chasing validation, you confuse noise for value. You confuse feedback for truth. You confuse stimulation for purpose. And that confusion, it's the root of modern misery. Let's talk about comparison. It's one of the oldest human behaviors, but social media turned it into an industry. You open your feed. You see someone your age traveling, ripped, rich, in love. You don't question the filter. You question your life. That reaction is fast, subtle, automatic, and repeated hundreds of times per day. It creates what psychology calls comparison anxiety, the chronic feeling that you're behind, lacking, or failing. Marcus would look at you and say,
Why do you let another man's illusions dictate your peace? That's not cruelty. It's clarity. Because in truth, you're comparing your full, messy human self to someone's highlight reel, a curated fiction. This is not just unhealthy, it's anti-strategic. Now let's introduce another layer, ego investment. You don't just use social media, you perform on it. Every post is a performance, a signal. Look at me. I'm worthy. I matter. And each time someone likes it, your ego gets fed. But like any junk food, it leaves you hungrier after. Nietzsche called this the will to power, the drive to expand yourself, to assert agency, to create. But when that drive is hijacked, it mutates. Instead of creating value, you seek attention. Instead of expressing truth, you perform a version of yourself that others will approve of. That's not power. That's dependency in disguise. And here's the trap. It feels productive. You're posting, you're engaging, you're building something. But underneath, you're just reinforcing the same loop of insecurity. That's why Marcus would urge this shift from reaction to reflection, from approval to alignment, from performance to principle.
Let me tell you a story. Alex is a 29-year-old entrepreneur. He built a personal brand on Instagram. Clean aesthetic, sharp captions, thought leadership. 50,000 followers, endless DMs, speaking gigs. From the outside, success. From the inside, exhaustion. Every day was a performance, every post a calculation. He couldn't take a real break because the moment he stopped posting, the algorithm punished him. His audience moved on, his engagement dropped, and with it, his confidence. One night, after refreshing analytics for the 5th time in an hour, Alex broke down. Maybe you haven't hit that wall yet, or maybe you're already there, just quieter. He realized he wasn't building a brand. He was building a prison. Now, pause. Ask yourself, have you ever felt that pressure? To keep up appearances, to post something, even when you had nothing real to say, to check your likes like your life depended on it. If yes, you're not broken. You're in a system designed for this outcome. The good news? You can break it, but not by deleting apps, by rewiring your mindset. That's where philosophy meets awareness. Marcus Aurelius trained himself not to be reactive. He faced betrayal, illness, war, but his first question was always, what can I control here? That's the key, because social media thrives on losing control, losing track of time, losing grip on reality, losing sight of your own values. And the Stoic response? Reclaim the frame. Not through outrage, but through order. Not through escape, but through clarity. This is the mindset shift. This is the foundation. You've seen the trap. Now you're ready to escape it. In the next section, we turn philosophy into practice. You'll get 5 actionable tools, not theories, not quotes, real strategies to take your time, your energy, and your focus back. Let's build your Stoic system. Awareness is only the beginning. Real change comes from systems, from rituals, from action. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write deep thoughts. He practiced them daily. That's why his meditations still hit like truth bombs. So here's your mission. 5 tools, each one forged in Stoicism, sharpened by psychology, built for today. No fluff, just transformation.
Let's go. Tool 1. The Stoic Shutdown. Reclaim your mornings, reclaim your mind. How you start your day sets the tone for everything. Most people grab their phone within 10 minutes of waking up. That one habit destroys clarity, increases cortisol, and floods your mind with noise before you've even spoken to yourself. Marcus began his mornings in reflection. You can too. Action plan? No phone for the first hour after waking. Instead, journal one page using this Stoic prompt. What am I likely to face today? How will I respond with virtue? This primes your mind for intention, not reaction. You take back control before the world takes it from you. Tool 2. Digital discipline. Every scroll is a choice, not a reflex. This is not about deleting apps. It's about using them like a Stoic uses a sword, with purpose, not impulse. The digital world is a battlefield, and your thumb is your trigger finger. Digital discipline has 2 key practices. Part 1. Pause before you react. Small actions shape big outcomes. Before you like, post, comment, or scroll, pause. Marcus wrote, "Is this necessary?" That question isn't just about words. It's about energy, attention, direction. Use it before every digital interaction. Before posting, why am I posting this? Before commenting, am I adding value or chasing ego? Before checking your feed, do I need this now or am I escaping something? Part 2. The digital arena. Treat the digital world like a training ground for your attention. Before you open any app, ask, what is my purpose right now? What emotion am I carrying? What would Marcus do? Tactical protocol? Set a 15-minute timer. Stick to one goal. Connect, learn, post, reply, exit when time's up. The goal isn't perfection, it's practice. And with enough practice, the app stops using you, you start using it. Tool 3. The feed audit. If you don't curate it, it controls you. Your feed is your environment, and environment shapes behavior more than willpower. If your feed triggers envy, rage, or shame, you're watering weeds. Stoicism teaches that virtue is nurtured by surroundings. Weekly audit checklist. Unfollow anyone who drains you or triggers ego loops. Follow creators who share ideas, not just images. Ask, does this help me become wiser or just feel worse? You don't have to quit social media. You have to own your inputs. Because what enters your eyes enters your mind, and what enters your mind shapes your days. If this is hitting home, pause and comment which tool would Marcus want you to master today.
Tool 4. The engagement filter. Express truth, not just performance. Marcus wrote for himself. He wasn't chasing likes. He was chasing alignment. But today, most people post for attention, and when it flops, their mood crashes. That's not self-expression. That's ego addiction. Flip the script. Before posting, ask, is this rooted in honesty or performance? Would I still post this if it got 0 likes? Does this create value or signal virtue? The goal isn't to impress. The goal is to express something true. When metrics don't define meaning, you post from power, not from fear. Tool 5. The Night Watch. Clean the mind before you sleep. Your brain doesn't shut down when you log off. It reviews, it replays, it reinforces. So,
Close the day with clarity, not chaos. Marcus ended his days in reflection. You can too. Nightly reflection prompts. What online interaction today triggered me? What did that moment reveal about me? What belief or insecurity did it touch? How could I have responded more like a Stoic? Did I seek validation today, or did I act with integrity? What am I still holding on to that I can let go of now? This is your chance to clean your mental slate, to take ownership of your emotional responses, to forgive yourself, to reframe your battles. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for honesty. Write without filters, not for an audience, but for alignment. Bonus tip. Use a physical journal, not a screen. Your phone invites reaction. Paper invites reflection. Bonus. 7 days Stoic protocol. 1 week, total reset. If you want to go deeper, faster, try this. Day 1, no phone for first hour. Day 2, pause before every scroll or tap. Day 3, feed audit. Day 4, create an honest post without checking metrics. Day 5, night reflection. Day 6, digital arena, timed session. Day 7, full day off social media. Real reset. Track how you feel. Energy, focus, calm. You'll be surprised how much power you've been giving away, and even more surprised at how quickly you can take it back. This is not about quitting technology. It's about not letting technology quit your potential. Marcus lived through war and plague. You're living through notification warfare. But the enemy is the same: distraction, ego, illusion. And the weapon is the same: philosophy in action. You've now got the tools. Coming up next, one final scroll, one final message, the mindset shift that seals everything. Let's finish strong.
Take a breath. You've made it through the noise, through the traps, through the illusions. Now, it's time to choose, because everything we've explored, the Stoic foundations, the psychological traps, the practical tools, leads here. A moment of clarity, a new identity. You're not just a user anymore. You are a builder, a creator, a strategist. Marcus Aurelius never saw a smartphone, but he saw the same battles you fight today. Temptation, distraction, ego, comparison. And he didn't run. He ruled. He ruled not through control over others, but control over himself, his thoughts, his choices, his values. So ask yourself, who rules your attention right now? Your will or your feed? Because your life isn't shaped by what you know. It's shaped by what you do when no one is watching. That moment you reach for your phone without thinking, that's the moment your training begins. That pause before you react, that's your Stoic edge. That night you journal instead of scrolling, that's your Nietzschean will to power in action. These aren't hacks, they're declarations. They say, I choose what enters my mind. I decide what shapes my day. I do not trade my peace for pixels. And if that feels impossible, remember, every addiction begins with unconscious repetition, but every breakthrough begins with conscious rebellion. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are one decision away from a different trajectory. The algorithm doesn't care about your purpose, but I think you do. Maybe you're not ready to quit social media. That's fine. Just be ready to stop letting it use you. So here's your next step.
Pick one tool from this video, just one. Maybe it's the morning journal. Maybe it's the engagement filter. Maybe it's the 7-day Stoic protocol. Whatever it is, do it tonight. Not tomorrow, not when you're less busy, now. Then, comment below. What tool did you choose? What are you reclaiming? Your time? Your focus? Your mind? Because this isn't just a video, it's a movement. And your story might spark someone else's. Share this with a friend who's been drowning in the scroll. Be their Marcus. Be their signal in the noise. If you found value here, like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got more coming. More strategy, more mindset mastery, more philosophy you can live, not just quote. But for now, close this tab. Look at your hands. And remember, you were not born to consume. You were born to command. You are the fire, not the flicker. So go, scroll with wisdom, post with purpose, live with clarity. And never forget, the Stoic Emperor isn't a relic. He's alive in you. Every time you choose presence over impulse. See you in the next one.